England have just released their team for their game against Ireland at home at Allianz Stadium, Twickenham this weekend. But before we get right into it, guys, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I've been so overwhelmed by all the support on the channel and I really appreciate it. So if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to subscribe. But let's get right into it. He's kept this. Steve Bortwick's kept the front row the same. Ellis Genge, vice captain. Luke Cowan-Dickie starting at number 2 and Joe Hayes at number 3. He's kept the front row the same, and I think this is quite a good selection. I mean, the front row weren't bad. They actually got the better of Scotland at scrum time last week, and I think keeping some of the same selections consistent is very key for a team, especially to bounce back. I've said it before with the likes of Ireland after their game against France and Scotland against Italy. It's good to sometimes keep the same crop of players after a disappointing performance so that they can have the opportunity to bounce back, because normally when they do bounce back, they bounce back properly and they have a really good game the next game. So I am actually quite excited to see how the likes of an Ellis Genge and a Luke Cowan-Dickie bounce back after quite a disappointing performance last week. At lock, they've gone for Maury Itoje as captain and Ollie Chesham at number 5. I've seen a lot of people saying that Maury Itoje maybe doesn't look that fit right now. He looks like he's blowing quite hard on the field. He gets tired quite easily, but to be honest, I think that just happens. He's played a lot of rugbies. He's kind of been worn out recently, and I think this will be a perfect game for him to bounce back. And he's a very good captain in this team. He leads by example, and I think he'll do just that this week. I mean, Ollie Chesham at number 5. Probably one of England's best forwards right now, one of their most consistent players, and he's really gone up the rankings and my power rankings at lock. I think before the Six Nations, before last season even, I didn't really rate him that high, but now I rate him very highly, and he's one of the best locks in the world right now. So those two are going to really be looking to try go at Ireland at line-out time. Ireland recent weeks have been quite solid at line-out time. It's scrum where I think England will really be targeting Ireland. Number 6, they've gone for Tom Curry. At number 7, Ben Earl. And number 8, Henry Pollock gets a start. I really like the look of this Blues trio, and I'm glad that they also didn't completely drop the guys like Guy Pepper and Sam Underhill, because I thought they had a really good game against Wales. A bit of a disappointing performance against Scotland, but I think this game just gives the likes of a Tom Curry and Henry Pollock a good opportunity to show what they can do. And then from this game, you can kind of see who you want in your actual starting lineup going forward. Because to be honest, if I was to choose the best starting lineup for this team, the likes of a Tom Curry and a Ben Earl would both be in it, with the likes of maybe a Sam Underhill or a Guy Pepper. They have a lot of good options right now at loose forward. If you think they have the likes of Fissalau and Chandler Cunningham-South as well that haven't been playing, that are there, they have really good depth at loose forward. But Tom Curry getting a start, he's going to really try to take that opportunity with both hands. Ben Earl at number 7, he'll be just fine. He has been the informed loose forward for England so far throughout their first 2 games of the Six Nations, and he's going to have another heck of a performance. He's the one guy you can just count on him to always have a big performance. And then Henry Pollock getting the start at number 8, that's going to be absolutely awesome to see. I know a lot of fans from other countries don't like him. I'm a South African fan. I'm a neutral when it comes to England, and personally I really like this guy. I think he's awesome. He's still a young player as well. I think he gets a bit of unfair hate, but he's a very exciting player. He's a good athlete. He's very fast. He can run almost as fast as a backline player, and I think he's going to have a very exciting start this week for England. So I'm really looking forward to see how this loose trio goes about their business. Number 9, Alex Mitchell. Number 10, George Ford. This is one of those selections that I'm actually glad they didn't change up. You kind of have to stick with those two guys. They are steering the ship forward. They had a good game against Wales. They played really well in their other games. They've been very big in contributing to the England win streak, and I think changing that would have kind of, I don't know, it just wouldn't have sat well with me. And I think George Ford did have an off game last week. Alex Mitchell wasn't bad, and they're a combination that's been working well together. It's international rugby. Scotland bounced back. They played a heck of a game. You're not going to win every game. That's what international rugby is nowadays. Scotland can beat anyone on the day. They almost beat the All Blacks last year. South Africa didn't even win all their games last year, and France also lost some games last year as well. No team is going to stay undefeated, and that's what I love about international rugby right now. But I think Alex Mitchell and George Ford are the right two guys to steer the ship forward and take this team forward. They've been a really good combination recently, and I think Alex Mitchell and George Ford have a really good bag of tricks. They've got a good kicking game. They manage the game well. They're good game managers, and George Ford just needs maybe his forwards to get a bit more front foot dominance, because any 9 and 10 that has back foot ball is going to struggle. We saw it the previous week with Finn Russell and Ben White against Italy. Scotland couldn't get any front football. We saw it the previous week as well with Jameson Gibson Park and Sam Prendergast when they played against France. So it's going to be tough for guys like that. They're going to be looking to bounce back in a big way this week. Number 12, Fraser Dingwall, and number 13, Ollie Lawrence finds his way back into the team. Now, Fraser, I honestly thought it was going to be Max Ojomo and Ollie Lawrence coming into the team because they know each other as a combination, but this might just prove that Fraser Dingwall might actually be quite an important player in this team. He is more of a playmaker style 12, and I know a lot of England fans kind of wanted England to go away from that, especially after the Owen Farrell years. They kind of wanted two ball players, two athletes, two good ball carriers, but I mean, you don't really lose much there. I think Fraser Dingwall is a great player. He's proven himself over the last few weeks. And I think having a guy like Ollie Lawrence outside of him is going to make his job a lot easier. And you can rely on Ollie Lawrence to just get front foot ball, almost like a Damon Dale Lindy style player for them. He can just go get front foot ball as he wishes, and I think he's going to be a very important player. And I think the last few games playing at number 13 for Tommy Freeman really helped him to kind of understand what it takes to be in that position. And I think going forward, they've just added another guy to the depth there, so that's really good, a really good selection from Steve Borthwick. But I think if a guy like Ollie Lawrence is available, you have to play them. Number 15, Freddie Stewart. I thought he's been quite solid recently. I know a lot of people don't like him. They would have rather had a guy like Marcus Smith starting or a Fullback starting. But I do like the selection of Freddie Stewart. He's good under the high ball. Maybe doesn't have that much X factor, but sometimes you just need a good, consistent player there. And I think if you have a 9, a number 10, and a number 15 that are consistent, don't make too many mistakes, I think that's quite a good selection for the team. And I think you have guys like Ollie Lawrence, Tommy Freeman, and Henry Arundel that can really tear the house down. But then you have the likes of George Ford, Fraser Dingwall, and Freddie Stewart that are solid players that get through their role well and are very consistent. So I'm really happy with that selection for England. Now looking at the bench, they've gone for Jamie George, Bevan Rodd, and Trevor Davison. Unchanged front row on the bench. They'll be looking to get more dominance at scrum time. They were quite good last week as well when they came on at scrum time. Obviously an open play. I don't think any of the forwards are really that good except for maybe Ollie Chesham, but I mean none of them were really that good. They're all going to be looking to bounce back, but I do think it's important to trust your selections, and I'm happy to see the continuity that Steve Borthwick's gone with, because sometimes if you have a bad performance and you change everything up, it can really damage the confidence of a squad, the team, and those players. So I think going for those guys again, giving them another opportunity to bounce back is very important for these players. So I think that was a really good selection, and I'm not even an England fan. Number 19, Alex Coles, the one guy that just always gets the hard work done. He does the unseen, nitty-gritty hard work. He's almost like a Francois Cross for France. He's like a Nicola Canone for Italy, and he's like a Franco Mostert for South Africa. You always need one of those guys that can just get the hard work done, the unseen hard work. And I think he's the type of guy, if you get an injury early and he comes on early, you're fine with that because he's an 80-minute player. So I think England have really good lock stocks right now, and I think Alex Coles is the perfect guy to have on the bench. Now, number 20, Guy Pepper, and number 21, Sam Underhill. You can't really ask for much better loose forwards on the bench than that. They've been solid the last few weeks. Obviously, they struggled a bit last week, especially Sam Underhill. Guy Pepper obviously didn't really thrive as much with the scraps last week as he did against Wales, but it was a completely different game. It was a massive bounce back from Scotland, and England didn't really pitch up as a team either. So I think those two are going to really try and make an impact when they come on to prove that they are the right starters in this team. If you've watched this channel for a while now, obviously I've only been doing it for a few months, I really do rate Sam Underhill very highly. So I think if Sam Underhill can have a big performance off the bench, he'll be starting again the week after. To be honest, I do think the best loose chair right now for England, if they were to play in a final of a World Cup or something like that, would probably be the likes of a Tom Curry, a Sam Underhill, and a Ben Earl with a Guy Pepper and a Henry Pollock on the bench. That's just what I think. I do think Guy Pepper is a good starter though, but I do think Sam Underhill is a better starter than a bench player. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do off the bench. I think they're going to try and make a massive impact. The bench forward pack is actually quite strong this weekend going into this game, and I think Ireland's kind of been struggling with their bench forward pack, especially in the front row, so that might be somewhere where they're going to try target, where England's going to try target. But I will say that Ireland's bench in general has actually done quite well compared to their starters the last 2 weeks, so this is going to be a very interesting game, especially in the last 20 minutes. But I will be doing a preview of this game, what I think is going to happen, my predictions, a bit of a combined team between the two teams. Who do I think is the best team on paper combined? So that's going to be a bit of a video coming out probably as soon as the Ireland team comes out. Maybe Thursday, as soon as the team comes out, that video will be coming out. Number 22, Jack van Poortvliet comes back into the team. This is a very interesting one. I do like Ben Spencer a lot, but I do think it's the right choice to play a guy like Jack van Poortvliet, especially in this game, just to give him an opportunity against a big team to show, is he the guy that they could have there? Could he maybe be a better option than Ben Spencer? I do really rate Ben Spencer very highly. I think he's a game changer. I would like to see him get more game time and maybe even start a game just to show and prove what he can do. He's almost like a Baptiste Serene for me, where I think he just needs more opportunities, and with more confidence, he'll play a lot better. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've seen a guy like Baptiste Serene really thrive because he's been given an opportunity, and the guys have confidence in him. So I think Ben Spencer could be the same under the same circumstances. But I mean, Jack van Poortvliet's never been a bad player for England. He's always done well when he's come on, and he is still a young guy. So maybe a guy like Jack van Poortvliet and Marcus Smith, who's at number 23, building a combination on the bench together could be important. I mean, if you look at the bench, you have the likes of of Guy Pepper, Jack van Poortvliet, and Marcus Smith that aren't old players. They actually still are quite young and inexperienced players. So giving those guys as much game time together as possible could be key going forward for England. But that is the team. I mean, they've gone for Ellis, just to go over the team in full: Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie, Joe Hayes, Maury Itoje, Ollie Chesham, Tom Curry, Ben Earl, and Henry Pollock make up the starting forward pack. Alex Mitchell, George Ford, Henry Arundel comes back, Fraser Dingwall, Ollie Lawrence back from injury, Tommy Freeman at number 14, Freddie Stewart at 15. That's the backline, a very strong backline. Very happy to see Ollie Lawrence back and Henry Arundel given another opportunity after a disappointing game last week. Replacements: Jamie George, Bevan Rodd, Trevor Davison, Alex Coles, Guy Pepper, Sam Underhill, Jack van Poortvliet, and Marcus Smith. Honestly, there's no weaknesses on that bench, and this is a very strong team, and I am expecting England to really bounce back. But this Ireland team as well, they're coming off a win against a very good Italy team. They're going to be pumped up. They're going to be confident. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I will be doing a preview, guys, so stay tuned for that. And if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.